Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Tonight, we wrap up the first 13 weeks of the season with a good Monday Nighter between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. This is taken at the 3. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, the sun is set in Chicago. The temps have dipped and will continue to do so. Jacket and blanket weather. It's that time of year at Soldier Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some
snacks.
I was just going to
say.
That's where I go.
On 1st and 10, Fields. And incomplete to open things up. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Fields. Johnson's got it complete. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. They were terrific last week against Buffalo in that victory.
They forced 7 turnovers.
How many?
7. I mean, think about that number now. That's supposed to be a lucky number, right? Lucky for one side, unlucky for the other.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Back to throw. Fields. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
Here we go. 10-2 stop. Bam. Slide. No. Watch out. Hey, slide.
On 1st down, Dickerson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. A handoff as they run the counter play. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Dickerson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Watch a slap.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Got his target, Samuel. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 38-yard line.
Nice catch right there. It brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
That one good for 21 yards. The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. from 17 yards out as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear. But it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
You got it! You got it! You got
it! The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Right there. 54.
Looking to throw. Fields. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? It's the last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
Early in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make...
It got his man complete. A game there of 30 big ones.
But we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
They'll run on 1st down. Dickerson. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Tucker now to add the point after. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Vikings 14.
The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays.
Don't get nervous.
Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Ball on the 30, they'll come up with a 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. Complete, it's Johnson. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Fields. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. This is going to be a good one-on-one battle to watch. Both of these guys play the game at the highest level.
Both of them are terrific competitors. They play the game with great athleticism and smarts as well.
And in this early round, the defense wins. And this will be taken at the 13. Dances by him. Now a hit and a loose football. And this is picked up by the Bears. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
Multiple turnovers on the play. Eventually recovered by the defense.
After reviewing the play,
here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, right now, they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Brings up 2nd and a yard at the 34-yard line.
Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
Mike's partner.
2nd and 1.
Let's go.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use your aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Got a man open. It's Ricky Seals-Jones. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping them from a first down.
Now stopped him in his tracks.
54. Mike, 54. Squeeze, double. Set, go.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Give him 35 yards there on the third down conversion. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Now they're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Vikings.
On 2nd down now, it's Cohen. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons we like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
From the gun on 3rd down, Fields. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Johnson, the intended target.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Now a throw right side taken in here to start this drive. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. You have to be a little careful. You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone.
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Looking to throw. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you, and that may have been what happened there.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. He finds his man Johnson. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The Bears on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Fields. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
54 is Mike. Check.
Throwing again. Fields. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. 2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Back to throw. Fields. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Intended for Allen Robinson.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw is probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get through.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what'll be an important third down.
Mike's 54. Mike's 50.
Hey, Zoo.
Back to throw. And that will be incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down.
Oh, the Bears break through and they block it. It's picked up. Remember, the ball is live.
Well, if you were ever wondering, should I believe my special teams coach about, these plays are valuable? Think no more. Huge play, big block, and now they've set up their offense inside the 10-yard line. A chance to score.
Looking to throw. Fields. Incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, but it'll be second and goal. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. Back to throw. Fields got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown reception as his guys are back within a single score. No surprise there. Third and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air. That's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
Look at me. Score. Ready?
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to be stopped short of a first down as they'll get to him at about the 33. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. The Vikings send out their punter. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself to try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
Get it.
On first down, Dickerson. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now this throw caught left side. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A good pickup there, 22.
Let's go now. 8, read.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
Hit it.
They'll run on first down. Dickerson, and just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
At the Bears 20.
Hey, wahoo.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He finds Hopkins complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain.
Come on now.
Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside.
You draw corkers.
Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Gone.
Hey, watch it. Watch it.
Watch it. Shoot.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Curtis Samuel with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
On second down, it's Cohen, and they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing, but with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Looking to throw. Fields. That's to his running back, complete.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Ready.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Check.
Ready.
54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Hey, exit.
Check Mike. Mike's
Let's go.
They'll set up to throw.
Watch the out.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him and keep...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, Fields. He gets this one to Johnson. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Pulled in at the 24. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question is, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again. Check 26. Check 5.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Going to give this time to the tailback. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
I'm here all day. I'm here all day.
Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Again, they'll run with Bettis. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. But they're looking for it now.
And he coughed it up. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
You've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And now out comes Minnesota. Now, these guys hardly got a chance to catch their breath after the quick turnover, but I doubt they're complaining much.
Especially with the field position they get to start with. I wouldn't be complaining either. I'd want to get right back out there and get after them because now you have an opportunity to make a big play. I'd say let's be aggressive and go after him.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Alert, alert.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Game offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still second down.
So the delay of game penalty moves it back 5. That makes it second and 10. He'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however, and let's see what that's about. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sack back at the 29.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll look to throw here. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Now Justin Tucker's out to try the field goal. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That'll be taken in the end zone.
Let's go. Let's do this.
The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field, and the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Ready?
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And this is picked up by the Bears.
We're going to shut you down.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 49-yard line.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Fields. And the catch made by Johnson. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield.
Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Tack McKinley. What a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Back to throw. Fields. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. The Bears on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 17. Looking to throw. Fields. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. On 4th down, Fields. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Mike Tomlin takes a shot here, but to no avail. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And he'll give it here to his running back. A good productive run there on 1st down. He winds up getting 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Completes it to Samuel. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Curtis Samuel, his second touchdown of the night. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they've made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did in the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing him all sorts of trouble.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a second and long. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Johnson the intended target, and that takes us from second to third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Pick it up, pick it up. Pick it up.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Well, they get a fourth quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, but now it's third down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Johnson's got it complete. Touchdown, Chicago! As his guys are in for 6, and the Bears turn that interception into a touchdown.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out comes the Chicago defense getting ready for the next possession. They have not had their best performance tonight in this one, partner.
And you know it's tough, and I don't know how it is for you, but building towards a night game, that crescendo.
I didn't play.
But
you tell me.
But us getting ready to broadcast. Sometimes you want to do it a little bit earlier, right? You feel your peak coming. Maybe that's what happened with them, that somewhere in the day they should have kicked off earlier because by the time we got to the night, things tended to fall flat.
They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football, and that led to the sack.
He's going to take, and this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. I tell you, Charles, You play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So we had action to the very end of this one. The score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know, some coaches preach that and tell their teams that's what I want all the time, and they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for Minnesota, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Bears, this season is beyond salvage now as they fall to 2-10. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.